Can I just say one thing firstly? I love the name Eat Sleep Boxing Repeat.
Welcome back to ESBR Boxing in partnership with sharpbetting.co.uk. This is a final prediction video for the big fight taking place in New York this weekend between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach. Thomas, good to be joined by you as always. Busy month, busy weekend last weekend, but we're back again. Gervonta Davis, if we're being honest, the strong favourite in this fight, up against a good fighter in Lamont Roach, but still expected to win. Give us your final prediction for this one, please.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I see this going exactly like Davis's last fight against Frank Martin. Um, I see Lamont Roach maybe probably getting the better of Davis for the first 3 or 4 rounds or so, or at least in the early part of the fight. I think he will be ahead on points, and eventually, I think that Davis towards the middle would that pressure will start to get to Roach, and Davis will get to him with a big punch and get him out of there. I'd say about round 7 or 8, he gets the job done. I don't think we've really against Gervonta, you kind of have to fight. You have to box the perfect fight, and I think that Frank Martin he was doing that for like 4 rounds, but the problem is there's 8 more to go. So I just don't think I've seen enough from Lamont Roach to suggest that he would be that guy. So yeah, I see this going pretty much the same way that fight went. Davis stoppage round 7 or 8.
Yeah, yeah, fantastic. I feel like, yeah, look, we've seen a bit of maybe a bit of a trend with some Gervonta Davis fights recently. Frank Martin fight, eighth round stoppage, was close on the scorecards, even against Rolly Romero, a couple of years ago, sixth round stoppage, but actually on the scorecards was close. So Gervonta Davis is dropping rounds, but the last four of his fights, there have been stoppages between round six and round nine. This is a fantastic time to bring our partners Sharp Betting into the conversation, Thomas. They've pointed at, obviously we know the odds here for a Gervonta Davis stoppage aren't going to be amazing. However, they pointed in the direction of Davis to win in under 8.5 rounds at decimal odds of 1.86. Just give us kind of your opinion on those odds, please. Do they take your fancy at all?
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good safe bet. A lot of Davis's fights or his recent fights or his last couple against Martin and Garcia have ended right around the same time, about like round 7 or 8. So, yeah, similar kind of matchup in this one against Roach. I think he will definitely get him out of there. Most likely before then. It would be hard for me to imagine Lamont going past 8 or 9 rounds,
Yeah,
in my
yeah,
opinion.
yeah, for sure. I also think there's a couple of factors here. Lamont Roach, he's been fighting at super featherweight. How is he going to be at lightweight? And who is he fought who punches nearly as hard as Gervonta Davis? That's another question I've got. So that's one that really interests me. In terms of my final prediction, Thomas, I'm gonna go a bit earlier than you. I'll go round five or round six, so a little bit earlier. Um, but yeah, I fancy Gervonta Davis to win this not more convincingly than some of his other fights. I fancy him to maybe not drop the rounds that he's dropped in other fights. But we'll see. We'll see. Gervonta Davis, one of the most must-watch stars in in world boxing. And we will see what happens at the Barclays Center in New York. Before we finish, Thomas, Shakur Stevenson fought last weekend against late replacement opponent Josh Padley. Stevenson victorious, remains undefeated. Gervonta Davis expected to win this weekend. Where is your head at in regards to the possibility of seeing that fight next for both fighters? I know it's boring. I know we've had this conversation before, but I would like to think there is a possibility of that fight happening next. Where is your head out on it?
I would agree with you. I think, with the way boxing is going right now, uh, things are different. These big fights are being made, and although there does seem, Gervonta's been quite vocal about his disinterest to kind of getting involved in the Riyadh season and all those big fights. He seems content to just, fight fights like these and then maybe retire afterwards. Um, so we'll see. I get the sense though that I think the criticism of the fans uh, would get to him, and I think he does want that fight deep down. I think maybe in interviews and stuff he's playing coy, like, I don't need him, but really I think he does want to test himself against someone like Shakur, and I think that fight will happen. I really just I don't see any other. Um, I mean that's the fight, for Davis. Yeah, I mean for both guys really.
Yeah, I think so. I just think that the idea of seeing those guys not fight each other and just go down different routes. I mean, Vasily Lomachenko, I'm not sure what's happening with him yet. Keyshawn Davis just became world champion. Personally, I don't think he's going to be going after those guys just yet. Maybe in 12 months' time, but not just now, personally. And then who else are you going to fight? I mean, is Gervonta Davis going to move up in weight after this fight? Wouldn't rule that out, but should he move up in weight? Possibly not. So I really hope so, but I struggle to be optimistic about it. But you made a good point. Without Turkey Al Sheikh, the Saudis getting involved, would we have seen Fury Usyk twice, Beterbiev Bivol twice, um, and other fights as well? So look, we'll remain hopeful, and we'll see. But we'll see what happens on Saturday night. Lamont Roach was one of the best super featherweights in the world, and he will be game for sure. So we will see what happens. Thomas, good to be joined by you as always. I will speak to you again very, very soon.
Likewise, Elliot. Thank you.